Hey beautiful people, welcome to the channel. My name is Ja, and today I want to talk to you about 12 books I've read that sparked the revolution. Now, the revolution may mean many different things to you, but in this scenario, I'm speaking of the 1971 poem titled The Revolution Were Not to Be Televised by Jill Scott Heron on his album Pieces of a Man. The theme of the poem is that change will not be brought to them or you by corporations, but change in one's own mind and actions. If you haven't experienced the revolution yet, hopefully you get a chance to. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Starting off, we have The Ant and the Elephant by Olympic Hall of Famer Vince Poscente. Now, this story I would definitely recommend just for self, motivation, leadership, guidance, and self-determination. Because in this book, he captures how you can get to your best self. You cannot get to your best self through any exterior things. They are all intangible things that you have to pull from the inside. And in the story, we see a mighty little elephant who doesn't know how to, lead, and an elephant who is scared and frightened. And the ant has to learn how to lead the elephant, but not control the elephant. He has to learn how to move with the elephant and let the elephant move with him. And it just, pretty much the big picture is conscious and subconscious. Don't allow yourself to be fully conscious and not aware of the subconscious. Allow both of them to connect together and you will achieve mastery. The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danke. Now, this story is amazing because it shares how each and every single one of us lives next door to a millionaire. Now, the book shows that there's two types of millionaires. There's under accumulators of wealth called UAWs, and there's prodigious accumulators of wealth called PAWs. And the book shows that, many millionaires that you see on TV and all the flashy clothes, diamonds, jewelry, cars, you have it. They only represent 3% of the millionaires. Crazy, right? Only 3%. Now, what I was able to learn from the book is that you and I, if we want to achieve wealth, we have to first live frugal, which means to live below our means. Secondly, we have to be able to scale our lives to see if we are under accumulator of wealth, a UAW, or a PAW, a prodigious accumulator of wealth. And that simply means taking your age plus your annual pre-tax income and dividing it by 10. Thirdly, avoid financial dependence. Seek financial freedom. What that means basically is that if you want to achieve something, don't try to take out a loan, but find out ways where you can do it on your own. Overcome by Redman. He says, the reality is we are either in a life storm, coming out to one, or somewhere on the horizon, one is waiting for us. Jason is a retired Navy SEAL who was caught in an enemy ambush in Iraq in 2007, which led to him having to leave the Navy, be crippled, and have a disfiguration of his face. But Jason knew, despite the pain that he went through, you are able to overcome and endure any storm in life, or as he likes to say, life ambush. The Way of the Superior Man by Deida. See, this is an amazing book, and I encourage every man to read it, even women, because it allows you to realize that you cannot have a person or anything over your purpose. Your purpose in life has to be so strong that all of these things attract to you. That is just the way the world works. And if you are in a relationship, marriage, whatever, and your partner is over your purpose, the relationship is out of order. All in all, basically just understanding that the masculine has a role to play and the feminine also has a role to play. And allowing both to operate on different levels, but at the same time. The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up by Mark Manson. See, Manson experienced a traumatic event that led to him discovering himself and maximizing as much as he could in his life. And so he said, you have to stop caring about everything because problems are going to occur. The only thing that you can do in your life is control your problems the best because better ones will come. It's not about having no problems at all, but about controlling the problems that come your way. The Greatest Salesman in the World by Guadagnino. See, in the story is a salesman, and throughout the whole journey or the whole time, he has to learn these 10 scrolls to turn him from the weak man that he is, a weak salesman that he is, to a great salesman. And it basically has empathy, prayer, faith, and all of these other things. Guadagnino wrote the story based off his own life because he used to be an alcoholic. And he changed his life with those same 10 scrolls in the book to become a great author. And he put it in the book as The Greatest Salesman in the World, which is a famous novel, and many people enjoy it, such as myself. Who Moved My Cheese? Spencer Johnson. The 4 characters are Scurry, Sniff, Him, and Hall. Sniff sniffs out change. Scurry scurries into action. Him denies and resists change due to fear. And Hall, he adapts to change. You see, the whole book is about accepting change for what it is, because the only constant thing in life is change. And so you just have to be ready for change. It's a book for, businessmen, students, and, even kids. It's not a long book and definitely a recommendation. Control the Crazy, Vinny Guadagnino. So Vinny is a star of MTV, and he never fully showed that he had anxiety and things of that nature because he didn't know how to control it, but it just came at different times. In the book, he says that it's not something that you can fully overcome, but you can control it by learning how to manage it in that time. In the book, he has, full-on panic attacks, anxiety attacks, where he just, not in the moment at that time. And he has to learn how to overcome that so that he can, be the star on TV and continue to be himself. The Power, Passion, and Pain of Black Love by Jawanza Kunjufu. So in this book, he basically explains how the black family has been attacked by society in America and how the structure has been all ruined by targeting the black man. In the book, he stresses how black men have to learn to accept God and keep him at the forefront so that all the other steps can be aligned in order. Because it isn't until you reach a level of self-consciousness that you're able to be aware of other things in the world going on that, that you think you don't have control over. And he pushes for black love. Although it may be hard because of things like imprisonment and homosexuality and the suicide rate and the pressures that society puts on the black man, nevertheless, you have to stick together. You have to do everything in your right mind that you possibly can to sustain black love and black marriage. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. In Outwitting the Devil, he basically has 2 different types of people: drifters and non-drifters. Drifters are people who do anything, like alcoholics, just lazy people. And non-drifters are the people that are conscious. The people are watching every step before they make it. 2 steps ahead. The people that play chess, not checkers. But in the book, he explains how he went through a series of events, having a Q&A with the devil, just him and his thoughts and playing devil's advocate. And even his wife didn't want him to release it. It was a very controversial book, but I believe that it's a great book. And if you can find the book and get your hands on it, definitely a great read. He says discipline keeps you from drifting off. So in order to keep yourself aligned, you need discipline in your life. The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. And The Richest Man in Babylon is a financial book that teaches you about all different types of principles that they had in Babylonia a long time ago. And the ancient principles still work today. I remember one of the things from the book that I seen was everything you earn, keep 10%. It was saying that you can grow wealth over time. See, in the Babylonian Empire, or kingdom, the king was trying to understand how wealth was built and how did the wealthy people not look like the wealthy people who seemed to be wealthy. And they basically told him, like, you follow these set of principles, and if you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, all of these other different books, definitely try out The Richest Man in Babylon. The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. In The Four Agreements, he speaks of how the Toltecs, the tradition of the Toltecs, which is the indigenous tribe of Mexico, had laws and principles. And it was broken down into 4 different parts. These 4 principles were: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personal, don't make any assumptions, and always do your best. These principles are what the Toltecs lived by. And if you want to experience that, you can go and read The Four Agreements. I believe it's a life-changing book, and it will advance you and enhance your mind, if anything. Life is full of what you make it. It's your experiences. And outside of this book that I'm about to show you, you have to understand that your life is a book, and people are reading you every day. The Holy Bible. I like to call it an epic, a long narrative poem that speaks of principles that can align your life to mastery. Through listening to the words and hearing people speak about the words of this book, you can achieve a level of self-discipline, to a level where you are no longer captured and held down by the things of this world, but on a level where you can say, nothing in this world can control me, and I'm the only thing that can control myself. To finally say this video is over, thank you for spending this time with me and hearing me. Stay true and be blessed.